Hi, welcome back to Monte Cristo. Today we're going to make a strawberry cake. It's my daughter-in-law's favorite cake and today's her birthday, so I'm going to make one for her to have for her party. Join us if you will, and please hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our videos. Thanks for coming. Who knew that in a pandemic you wouldn't be able to buy sliced, frozen, sweetened strawberries? Well, I've tried to find them several times since this started and I can't find them. But I've decided to use these and about a cup of sugar and about a half a cup of water, and then if we need to add some to it, we will. All right, cup of sugar, about a half cup of water. I'll go ahead and get this warmed up before I put the strawberries in. That way it'll be hot and they'll get warmed up faster because they are frozen. They make a lovely juice, so I think they're gonna work fine. It's just gonna take a few minutes for them to get soft enough to sort of mush up, which is what we want. Ooh, that made a lot of juice. In fact, I think I'll take them out, let that juice cook down a little bit, reduce a little bit so it'll be thicker. It also wouldn't hurt to tell you that during a pandemic, not only do you need to stock up on toilet paper, but apparently you need to stock up on frozen sliced strawberries, as well as the 3-ounce packages of strawberry gelatin, because they didn't have it, not brand name, not Walmart name, not any name. So I bought the bigger one. I will have to take out part of it because it will be too much for this recipe. Just a heads up. We're ready to mix up our cake mix. Our white Duncan Hines is my favorite cake mix. You can use whatever you like, but I have never had a problem with a Duncan Hines cake mix. And now our little tablespoon of flour. I've got self-rising. We'll go ahead and start mixing that. We're gonna add our eggs. They don't want to break. They're still together. Some tough little chickens there. Still together. How long can we go? More. We'll add our 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. And now our half a cup of water. All straight up off the sides and the bottom. Pouring our strawberry jello, and this is going to change everything. And it smells delicious. Up a little, get it mixed up good before we put our strawberries in. Speaking of strawberries, we've got a little bit of work to do before we get those babies in there. We'll beat this for about a minute and a half or so. Now we're going to set this aside for the moment because we have a little work to do. A little messy work. You got to do something about these whole strawberries. I'm going to sort of set them out a little bit to let them, they're still hot. I'll set them out a little to cool. All right. We'll just start slicing them. everything I know to do to replicate the ones that are in the grocery store. And since I had to have this cake for my daughter-in-law, I had to do what I had to do. She would do it for me, so. Okay, so let's see, they're still pretty warm. We're gonna give them a few minutes and we're coming back. While we wait for the strawberries to cool off a little bit so that we can use them, we can go ahead and grease and flour our pans. This with butter or shortening. You don't have to have pan spray. I'm just going to shake this off into the trash or the sink. Now's a good time to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now we have our strawberries that we chopped here, and I'm going to measure out a half a cup of these. Might just fill it a little bit full. We have to save some of them for the frosting. All right, so we're just gonna dump this in and we're gonna take them for a spin. For them to go in the oven. We'll check them after about 15 to 20 minutes. I checked it after 15 minutes and this is what I got when I stuck my toothpick in, so it's not cooked even halfway. So we'll check it in about another 10 minutes and see how it goes. We've just taken them out of the oven. It took about 25 minutes and they're still hot. I've got a rack, you can't see it, but I've got a rack right here, which will help them if you put them on the rack. If you put them on a rack, it helps them cool faster because you've got air circulating beneath it. We're gonna leave them like this for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and flip them out and let them cool on the rack. It's been about 5 to 10 minutes, and what I'm gonna do is just sprinkle a little bit of flour on the top of them. It won't change the flavor. Stop it from sticking so badly to the rack. All right. And my hand. I'm going to flip it. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, we're going to flip this one. Come on out of there. It's not coming. A little loosening up. I should have done that to begin with. I just got lucky on that first one. Let's see how this one does now. That's what it needed. All right. How nice those look. My daughter-in-law is going to love them. So we're gonna let them cool until they are absolutely cold, and then we will frost them. Because with this frosting, it's full of butter, and if you put it on there before it's cold, then you will have melted frosting. So don't get in a hurry with these cakes. The cakes have cooled off, and we are ready to start the frosting. And for this, we'll need butter and powdered sugar and some of those strawberries and the juice. All right, so we've got our pound of confectioner's sugar. We will soften 1 stick of butter. Then very slowly and carefully we will add our powdered sugar. Unless you want to be wearing it, I would be slow with it. much juice you're gonna need. Remember, you've got to ice a cake with this, so you don't want it to be too loose. I always like a little bit of salt. Just does something for the sweetness. And it kind of helps cut that powdered sugar taste. I have this beautiful cake stand that is a Pioneer Woman cake stand. It is a jadeite. It's not antique, of course, but it is just beautiful, and I love jadeite, and so this is one of my prized possessions. My grandson got it for me for Christmas a couple of years ago. And I will go ahead and frost the cake on this, because if I try to move it after I frost it and put it on here, that would just be a total disaster. Put just a smidge on here to keep it from moving around. Fits beautifully. A delicious cake. I hope you make one and enjoy it as much as we do, because we have been eating this cake for years. Now it will go into the refrigerator. This cake reminds me of one of those cakes you might see in an old picture of a birthday party, maybe for a little girl. It's just pink and sweet and juicy and good, and everybody loves it. I've never seen anybody that didn't like this cake, and every time I make it, it is gone. So I suggest you make it. I hope you enjoy it. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell so that you'll always know when we're putting in a new video. Thanks for watching, and join us again at Monte Cristo.